Hey everyone, and welcome back. Want to do a quick video today. Some of you know, not too long ago, at least from this recording, I got something in for my Creepshow collection, which was an original video release on CED, which was a format that was not very long-lived. I believe it was like late 70s into the 80s. In fact, I did bring it with me. Just encourage you to watch the video, but here it is again. And this is obviously the front, back. This is sort of an analog format, but something very, very cool that I was happy to get. Something that was on my radar for a very long time, because it's trying to get sort of just for fun, you know, a lot of the different releases of Creepshow over the years, as far as the US goes. I'm not going to go too crazy as far as looking for like releases from other countries and everything, because otherwise, you know, looking forever for stuff. So, but I wanted to get something at least on all of the major formats. Now, some of them I already have, you know, that's stuff I grew up with, including my own VHS copy and other stuff I've gotten over the years as far as like, well, you know what, I'll get to that in just a second. I may have talked about it before, but as far as this video goes, in case you couldn't, I know a couple of you already know what it is, but it is indeed the beta release of Creepshow from, was it 1983 when the video came out? Now I have the VHS. It's actually one from when I was a kid, and surprisingly, it was the first release of Creepshow, which was cool, and which also is in the clamshell. So now the interesting thing about this, so it is a beta, so obviously it does look like it's almost identical to the VHS clamshell. The only difference, in fact, there's the back. I'm sorry, there's the front right there, and there's the side. Well, you can see that okay, and then finally there's the back right there, which again mimics exactly the VHS. The only difference is obviously on the cover down the lower corner there, it does say beta, as well as on the side there at the bottom, if you can see that. I don't think it says that on the back, does it? No. So that's kind of the only difference. It's actually even the same size clamshell, which I didn't know. I'll open it up real quick, and the beta tape is inside, which I'll show you. Obviously, it's aging. I don't even know if it plays, but I don't have a beta deck anyway. I literally just got it for display purposes. But here is the beta tape right there, and as the label, obviously it's quite old on the bottom, and then there's the side with the old label on it, which is peeling off a bit, so I'm trying to be very, very careful, which is very, very cool. Obviously, you can see, you know, beta was obviously a smaller format, but actually quality-wise, beta was actually a much higher quality video format than VHS, but VHS was a lot less expensive to produce, which is pretty much why it kind of won out in the end. But beta has been around, ended up being around for decades. It actually moved much more into the professional around areas because of the quality of it. In fact, when I got into much more like video production, especially when it came to corporate stuff, in the early days, you would create a beta master for a lot of stuff. So yeah, it stayed around for a very, very long time. I think the only downside with this is the fact that the clamshell is the same size as the VHS. I think it would have been cool if the beta version was smaller. You know, it's because a lot of the beta releases, you know, because this tape was smaller, did have smaller cases for them. So it's kind of, it would have been nice if this was smaller, because it unfortunately does look identical to the VHS, you know, with the exception of the beta symbol on it. Because I do have a beta copy of Escape from New York, which is smaller than the VHS, which is cool. In fact, let me just grab it real quick. Hold on one second. I'll do a transition right here. Okay, so I went and got my beta copy of Escape from New York, which you can see right here. Again, smaller case. Let's see, woo, careful, it is also a little tight. There's the beta copy inside. In fact, I don't know if I've shown this out. It's been a couple of years, but yeah, there's the front of the beta, there's the side, and then there's the back. And just by the, here, even just kind of showing you them back to back, I mean, you can see like the size difference. I kind of hope, not that it had to be this small, but I do kind of hope this was a little bit different, you know, again, just for display purposes, but still, I mean, how awesome is it, at least in my opinion, to have the beta copy of Creepshow to go along with my other releases of Creepshow, which again is a mixture of ones that releases that I've had personally that I bought throughout the years, as well as ones that I have since acquired for the sake of collecting. But yeah, I think at this point, I think I have Creepshow on pretty much every format at this point. So now the beta, VHS, the CD, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray, including the older Warner Brothers release, as well as the Scream Factory one, the 4K. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. But if there is a format, US format, that even if it was one that existed very briefly that it was put out on, definitely let me know. I'll try and track it down if it's not too expensive. And in case you're wondering why I'm grabbing all this stuff for Creepshow, so there's about 3 movies, 4 movies, 3 movies for sure that if I see something for it, you know, I kind of want like a very specific collection. They're movies that mean a lot to me personally. So I do track things down for them. Creepshow being one, absolutely love, you know, Creepshow was a bit of a life changer for me. I saw it way too young. So that's one. Escape from New York is another one. Dawn of the Dead is one. Halloween 3 a bit. I do actually have a lot of different ones for Halloween 3, but there's a couple that I don't have. Like, I don't have the Laserdisc for Halloween 3. I don't have the CD. Mainly because they're just way overpriced. Like, I'm not spending that kind of money on that. But, like, Dawn of the Dead, I have a lot up for Dawn of the Dead. At Escape from New York, I think I might have everything. It's every format for Escape from New York, including the trailer in 35mm, which I would love to have for Creepshow. I have looked it up before. It would cost a lot of money if I were to get one. I have to track down also like a private collector that would have it, to be willing to sell. So maybe one day, no time soon. Just a nice thing, once again, to add. I think that when I got the CED, it kind of just like, you know, because I think in that video I did mention seeking out a beta copy at some point. I was like, out of curiosity, let me kind of look for one. I found one at a really great price. I was like, I'll all right, man, maybe eventually I'll add it to my watch list. And the seller gave me an amazing, like, he sent me an offer that was like massively cheap, and I was like, if I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna grab it. So yep, here it is in my collection. Very happy to have it. And I think at this point, outside of ever getting a 35mm print of the trailer, I'm done with Creepshow physical media releases. Again, unless there's one I'm forgetting. So as always, anytime I can get something special for Creepshow or any movie that I love collecting for. Obviously, I always love sharing it with you guys. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think, if I'm missing a format, or if there's any movie that you're kind of the same way, or you just love collecting for, especially when it comes to physical media releases. If there's like, you know, 1 or 2 movies, or several, that you just love collecting, all the different like format releases over the years. Always love finding out the stuff that you guys collect. So yeah, wanted to share that with you guys, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.